the SoCal Summer Swing Out podcast. I'm finally healed and recouped from Camp Hollywood, and I have two fantastic guests with me. Please say hello, everyone, to Benny and Bianca.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Those of you who are not new to the podcast, Benny's been on here before, but this may be a new face that you haven't seen before. So, Bianca, can you give us a quick intro of who you are?
Wow. Yes. That's a big question. I'll answer it in a few sentences, I hope. I'm Bianca. I am originally from Germany. I moved here when I was 16, live in LA now. And also, as everybody knows, the first thing I say, I'm Armenian. And I love and I love to swing dance. Yeah, I think that's good enough for now.
Yeah. Now, what's special with you, both of you actually, is you don't just do swing dancing, you also do Armenian dancing.
Yes, yeah, I actually had a gig yesterday, which was really fun. Really connecting with my culture roots and yeah.
So I think that's really cool because Benny also has a background in something other than swing dancing. And if you want to hear about that, you can listen to our podcast that we did before. But the main reason why I wanted to get these two people here is you both won the Amateur Strictly this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still surreal and I can't believe it.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, like, each of you give me your thoughts and your feelings when they announced your names and when, like, in that video when I caught you guys stand up. Yeah, tell me how you.
I'm so glad you got that video.
That was a good video.
You start.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
It was like pure panic and anxiety because everybody else that was up there, you know, you're getting all the way up and you're like, shit, we didn't make third. Oh shit, Jake and Andrew made third. Oh, we didn't make second. So for me, it was pure panic, and I was just like, I just want to turtle up. No, you know, just freaking out about it, and then hearing her name, it was like, oh thank God, Jesus, that was me, you know. So, but it was great. It was super emotional. Yeah. I think I was crying, if you will, not like shedding tears, but I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's not us.
Yeah.
Who's it gonna be?
I know, I was shaking. Because I honestly, I was like, oh my God, it's not us. Like, it's not gonna be us. And then when they said or like Bianca, and then I was like, oh my God, started crying. And then you picked me up and I was like, oh yeah, we need to.
Yeah, you're just gonna stand there and cry. And I was like hiding my tears. I was like, I'm just gonna have a tear.
So you literally used Bianca as a shield behind your
Yeah, that was my shield. I'm like, oh, nobody look at me.
Dude, okay, because the reason why, so I was sitting in front of you two and I started recording because I knew it was you guys. I knew it was you guys when we went through the practice. Legit. Like,
what?
Oh yeah, I did. Like when I saw you guys, I told Ava, I was like, they won. I just told her straight up, like during that practice.
No way.
But I'm so glad I caught that moment because it seemed like you two had put in a lot of work. Every time I texted either of you, you're like, oh yeah, I got practice with Bianca, I got practice with Benny. You know, so you both have been working at this for a minute, right?
Yeah. We were reviewing the timeline the other day actually, because we're like, when did we start this?
And it was in March.
Yeah, like we were like, well, yeah, because we have partnered for Hot Rhythm for Shag, and I remember we're like, we want to do air, whatever, Didn't really work out, but it's okay.
So that's a story.
And and then we were like, oh, let's do Am Lindy together and do air, and then came up with some ideas, put together some 8/8s, which were not that great.
Oh, it was a process. But for early on, I think we were like considering each other partnering because we joined Airmail Special.
Oh yeah.
Well, first we joined the Shag team.
Oh yeah. Okay, start from the beginning. Sorry.
Halloween Shag team.
Yeah, Halloween Shag team was Steve Sayer.
And that's where we met.
Paul and Susan, Jake and Andrea.
And they were just like, just hanging out after class or after the practice, and it's like people are just chatting and they were always chatting, and like I snuck in and I was like, oh, you guys talking about air?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we're gonna do, Paul
Yeah.
was like, we're gonna start up our little aerials practice squad.
Right.
And so we're like, and then Bianca just wants to do air. Bianca loves air.
Yes. The reason I started Lindy Hop was because of air, actually. But yeah.
Really?
So yeah.
We joined. Yeah, we joined. I mean, we were there like maybe, I don't even know how often we went in the beginning. But yeah, it was just like people doing it. That's how Airmail Special became a thing, where Jack started the team, obviously because of you too, because you talked to him. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, you were part of it. We were
yeah, and oh, it says internet connection. Let's see what... Anyway, and yeah, so that's why we were like, oh my god, let's do Shag and Air and everything, and then let's do Lindy together after that. And
yeah,
that was March, and then I don't think we really started like getting, I don't know.
Ooh, it was okay. So the
Yeah,
process was rough. Like when we first started out, we've never, first starting out with a new partner, working together, trying to figure out like give and take, the balance, and communication and everything, and then trying to figure out your tastes and what you like, and then have like it's all these discussions and like, yes, no, I don't like that, I like this, I don't like that, and it's like, you don't like this, oh, I don't like that, and just back, it's just a whole process. I assume you and Amy have, same with, oh, congratulations.
Yes, congrats to you guys
as well.
Well, thank you.
But it's a process. Every partnership is going to be different, and so that was ours of like, trying to figure out what we like, and
can I say something though? I think the good thing is we usually align.
Oh yeah,
I think
eventually it's like, even if I think one of the things like I figured out is that we each have ideas, but you don't shoot down any ideas until you've tried it out.
Yeah.
So you can be like, I'm hesitant about it, I don't like it, but we'll do it anyways, and we'll see what it looks like, and then we record it. But usually whatever we end up with, both of us like. Yeah. So we're like, okay, we're not like, we'll try it out and we'll have it in our back pocket. But if we both don't love it, we don't do it. We'll keep scouring, doing research, finding moves. Yeah. Until we find something that looks and feels good. Right.
I think the handstand was one of those. Because I was like, I want to hang off your back. And I had this idea of like climbing on him, like him like getting down.
And she just like,
and like I just like go on him.
Throw the leg over.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really like this leg thing.
Yeah. He was like, it's weird. I'm like, no, it's gonna be so good. And like he was with the idea of like the carry off, but he was like, the way you get up there, it's not cute. I was like, okay. And I think you were, wait, how did we get to, did you say the handstand thing? I don't know how we came up with it. I don't remember.
No, I think you saw it somewhere.
Anyway, but yeah, once we had that, it was like this moment of we both like it, we both agree. We're like, yeah, this is it.
Yeah, and so then the handstand and then there's the whole process of learning and working the air. Yeah, which handstand is funny, and Bianca and Andrea are like loving the blooper reels because we record all of our. Yeah, and there's so many rough takes when you're first learning an air and you're just falling over and you're like, oh, that doesn't work. Oh, but like, it's you can see the process evolve when you watch all the videos and until we made it to what we finally wanted or we liked at the end.
I don't know how to do a handstand. Like I think that's when I learned sort of how to do it. So
damn.
And there's some good videos. There's one that's like I'm just sitting here waiting and she just like her leg swings up and just goes boom.
Like, one time. That happened like one
Kicked me a few times. And
damn.
Yeah. So yeah.
That I have so many questions, bro. I guess one of the first questions is like, how did Airmail Special being on the team affect like that wonderful jacket they have there? How did that affect like what you had planned? Did the air practice that we did during team, did that help give you ideas, or how did that play a part into like your choreography?
It was everything.
Yeah.
Because Paul and Susan, Jack and Jess, even Katina sometimes, you know, like they taught us air essentially, like, because we're both new to, well, you done a little?
A little.
I've done a little.
I'm not good.
Yeah, I've done a little here and there, but it's never been like actual like training, putting it in a routine and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And dancing in and out of it.
Dancing in and out of it. Yeah, so aerial special helped a ton.
Oh yeah. I don't think without that we would have, you know, been as good as we were, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it also determined, I guess, like what air we put in the end, because in one of our outs, we did have a gene in there and we were trained. I mean, we never threw it together in the routine. So in the routine, we don't actually dance together at all, which is really funny.
Even though we signed up together.
Yeah. We were like, let's sign up together so we can practice and like it'll be great. And then it's like we never danced together in the whole song. Anyway, but yeah, so we were like, okay, let's throw the gene because it lands really well. It's really big. It's like, what is it? High reward, low risk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then also there was an air that we had considered, which ended up not getting put into the routine, which I was like, oh my God, it's so cute. And we put a little spin on it, to make it like our own. And I was so into this air. I really liked it, but like Benny was not really a fan of it. So.
It was we could tell them what it was.
Sure.
Yeah. It's a pop and roll, but it was like, we're gonna pop her up.
Yeah, like,
and then she was gonna roll through the legs and pop up outside.
Yeah, as like into tandem, because I wanted like a tandem moment. I wanted it to be like, okay, like I go up and then like just stand up behind him and like we go into tandem. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no.
A surprise transition.
Yeah.
But it didn't work for me because every time we would practice it, I'd come back with arm strain.
Right.
And went from the landing,
yeah,
and when you have like, you have to take care of your body because there's okay strains where it's like, I just pulled a little bit, but give me 5 minutes and I'm back to normal. But then there's like the full on, like you hurt yourself. And I had my injuries like early on, thank goodness. That taught me to like, I need to take way better care of my body. I need to listen to it when it's starting to strain and just like call it there. Like, I think that was a big learning for practice, was like, you've got so many runs and then it's just a diminishing returns and it's like not helpful at all. So, but like, just, you know, do it a few times, take a break.
Yeah.
Don't push yourself.
No, that's really important.
That is something that Paul and Susan kept bringing up when we were practicing air, right? They would say, oh, I think I'm just tired. And so by hearing them say that, I'm like, oh, it's okay for us to not keep going because you're right. It does get. Yeah. Because I do want. Yeah, go ahead.
It's the adrenaline and the excitement, and you just want to keep doing it. And you're like, yeah, I can keep throwing it, but no, stop.
Yeah.
Don't overdo it.
Now, this is not air related, but I'm curious. We were talking about tandem earlier, right? And you both have a moment in tandem where you do a slow motion kick, right?
Yes.
And Bianca, your stank face in that video is so fucking good. You're like, But whose idea was that? Ooh.
I also I gave them the idea.
Oh yeah, because
I helped them with their out at ILHC.
Right. Because so at ILHC,
when she got
Patricio and I won open like 3 months ago. And we had like this, you know, hit, whatever, and we were not sure how to get out of it. He's like, you should do like a slow down moment, like a slide.
You hit and then give it the hit and then you slide back together and then walk off.
Yeah, walk off. Yeah. And so you kind of use, like, it was his idea. And so you kind of use that in this too. Because the thing is though, the kickbacks, I was like, I really want those kickbacks in there, like the tandem kickbacks. And he's like, yeah, but we need something with it. Like we need the
mommy.
And so yeah, that's how it came together. And then I also hit with the music, which was insane.
Oh, that was so lucky.
Yeah,
it's like magic when shit like that happens and you're like, it's
that
like
was crazy.
Yeah, hit on the 1 or hit on the 5.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Always.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're gonna like, but like with Jonathan Stout, he's gonna have some juicy, yummy goodness.
Yeah.
I'll say. Now, there was another moment that I wanted to ask you guys about, but where did you get the idea to jump over and under? That was your, how'd you come up with that?
One, because Benny always during practice wants to jump over people, so he's been doing that.
I do.
Yeah, you're like over. So I was like, okay, I think that would be like a good thing.
I literally backpack on people just randomly. If people are like standing in a good posture, where they're like, they're just like, I have a good posture stance, I'll just like backpack.
Yeah, backpack.
Like I surprise backpack people.
Yeah, and then I was like, also because you wanted to fly, and I think that was just like oh, okay, like that's your air moment. Yeah. And then so we had like a whole, like the running through legs though came literally, I think like 2 weeks before Camp Hollywood or something like that. Because we had something else.
We had the leapfrog.
Yeah.
But we didn't like the lead up to the leapfrog. It was so bad. Cute. We like looking back at the videos, you're like, some of the ideas we were working with, you're like, oh,
not it. It was like we did the chase, I think, but it was not cute.
But then I think you found it. So one of our big inspirations is Nils and Bianca.
Obviously,
Bianca for Bianca.
I love her. Yeah. Yeah, so I saw
they do that. They do one of those. Nils does one where he jumps over, and they'll do like a jump over surprise in a tandem.
Yeah. So we kind of were inspired by that, but then I was like, it would be cool to be like go through, but then like again, you know what I mean, like never really in tandem.
Reverse.
Never. Yeah, we were like choreographing the out and Benny at the end. I think it was like at Camp Hollywood or something. You were like, we actually never dance in tandem, like a full actual.
A basic.
Yeah, basic. It's just like almost tandem and
fake tandem.
Yeah.
Fake out tandem.
So yeah.
Okay, and now there might be some people listening right now. They want to be where you all were at. So like, how did you structure your practices? Did you come to practice with ideas, or did you say, hey, let's just try some things and see what happens? Or how did you come to practice to make it productive? Yeah. And how often?
Yeah.
We went through a process. I think Benny said it earlier too. We learned how to practice together and how to be productive at it. Well, I want to say like, the whole Suchan thing.
Yeah.
So we are also really inspired by Suchan, who is in Korea, one of the scene leaders there. And they put out like some little clips and videos, like 8/8s, 16/8s, whatever. And we were really inspired by their moves. And then Benny came to practice and he's like, you know what, let's just like literally recreate those steps and see if we can dance it that fast, if we can dance it as well, if we like feel the flow kind of to get ideas going. And so one practice, we literally just copied like 5-6 videos of them, recorded ourselves, practiced it. Yeah. And it was like special moment.
That was money. Like that literally like was like, oh shit, this is how we should practice. Like we just had it was such a pivotal moment for us. Oh, are we losing connection?
We're good.
It was such a pivotal moment for us because before that, so like from March until then, or even before March, I don't know, it's like we were trying to do it on our own.
Yeah.
But us being new to choreography and choreography together, we like, I don't know. It's like
it was weird. We kind of approached it like we did our stack practice in the past, where we were like, oh, this is a cool move, let's do it. But I don't know why for Lindy it just didn't work like that. I'm not sure how. I don't actually know why that is. But with Shag, we can just come. We're like, this is a cool move, and then like kind of flow into it and create something fun. With Lindy, that didn't work for us. And so with the Suchan practice, which was like end of June or something, that's when it clicked.
Yeah.
And then we were inspired by some of the rhythm hits, by some of the just movements in general, like the shapes that our bodies made to that choreography. Some work for us. And so, that's, I think, that's something that we're going to take moving forward too. We have like certain like videos or 8/8s, whatever, from different couples where we're like, oh my God, this is so fun.
Yeah,
like,
we need to.
Yeah.
We're literally gonna, that like, for us, it's magic. So we're gonna go and practice all these pros and their 8/8s,
Yeah.
get it into our body, and then go from there.
Right. And get it, yeah, and then make our own thing out of it, or, you know, just kind of also practice what the flow is, like what, you know, because visually it looks great and we're like, oh my God, this is really pretty. And then, but we're like, but what is it? What's the move? What are we doing? So that really helps us, I think.
Yeah, it helped a lot.
Yeah.
It was literally, and that was like only 2 months until Camp Hollywood.
Right, something like that.
When it finally clicked.
Yeah.
2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
It was really close.
It was super close. And then, so we made an Excel sheet. Yeah. End of June. Benny loves Excel sheets, so he made one master sheet, and essentially we use it to like put ideas out. Like I love looking at all these different videos, and I'm like, I like this and this and this and this and this and this. And then Benny looks at it and he's like, all right, like, you know, this is fun, or like this makes sense. And he does the same thing. He like puts videos and ideas out. And then yeah, when we come together, we like practice that, and we like see if it works and looks good on us, or if we even like it. Yeah. I guess that's kind of what
we're taking them as a base, and then we're making it our own.
I think that's going to be super helpful for anybody listening, aka I might have to do some of that too. That being said,
it's like it's really helpful. I mean, I did the same thing with Patricio a little bit in a way, because it was like, what are like some nice lines on our bodies, because we were really like long limbs and arms, both Patricio and I. So we're like, okay, let's look at couples that have that and see like how they move, you know. And you know, I mean, the ones that you know admire and want to emulate. So yeah,
we did that for we made Shag finals too.
Right.
Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
That was the same process. Although we didn't like Lindy and team took all of our effort.
Yeah.
That Shag was like
we had like a calendar, okay, on the Excel sheet, literally every day scheduled out, whatever. And Shag was always like, oh yeah, maybe ? And then it always moved down. Like we never actually did it. And I think it was that Thursday of Camp Hollywood, like where everybody goes to Lindy Group. We like
went in the side room to practice.
Literally for like an hour or something, maybe 2, I don't know. That's it. That's it.
We were going off there's this old video called Pony Boy, and that's where we were taking we were taking their ideas and their moves and seeing how they felt and which ones we liked.
Yeah, and modified some. Like, because I mean, I think you like it too, but I love vintage old OG Shag, like in the 30s. That's like my favorite, how people move. It looks so good. And yeah, we kind of, you know, tried to look like old Shag, because people dancing Shag now have so many different styles. And I think we kind of stood out because of that. But that's just a theory. I don't know.
No, that totally makes sense. Which actually, you were talking about what you're going to bring to the future, right? So like for the next 5 minutes or so, let me just say, so Benny, you won the amateur mix and match last year, and now you won the Strictly Am, and you won the ILHC. What was it, mix and match? Or
Open.
No, Open.
Open Strictly.
You won the Open Strictly last year, and you won the amateur Strictly this year. So that means you both have to move up next year in everything, right?
Well, we're gonna ask. We don't know if we're if we can do Am Showcase or if we should do Open Showcase. We don't.
Yeah,
we haven't done a full song choreography, but that's something to ask Hillary.
Yeah, because we okay, to be super transparent, I am like really terrified of Open Strictly level finals, whatever. Like that level is like insane to me. And I am terrified, which is okay, whatever. But it's an honor also to compete next to all these people. And but regardless, so I'm scared of not making finals. And so I'm, you know what, we're gonna work on so much stuff. It's gonna be, you know, heartbreaking to me to not be able to like show and, you know, kind of present what we've worked on for the last year. So why don't we do a showcase together, you know? So yeah, and that's kind of where the question is, where it's like, okay, but because of that, we've never done a showcase together or like choreographed a whole song. like how does that fit into the
Mhm.
level, which I don't really care, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
And that's our yeah,
that's a question.
that's our goal is if we don't make open Lindy, because it can happen.
Right.
If we don't make open Lindy, then the showcase is like where we can present like,
Yeah.
check out the shit we're working on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we'll probably have some of the same moves, you know, or ideas in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny that she mentioned her feelings
Yeah.
about like all of her stress and panic and anxiety or whatever
Yeah.
for open Lindy. And then on the opposite end, I'm over here like,
He's like, I was
fuck
like,
it. Let's just make finals, whatever. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the same thing with Am Lindy. I was so terrified of not making it past prelims because I was like, oh my God, like my dancing isn't great. Like, what if we, you know, I don't know, there's so many great people. And it's not like to get validation from getting into finals, but it's more like I want to show what we've worked on because I really loved our 8/8s. And I was like, I want to show it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, then how did you both, how did you both ensure that you'd make it in the finals? Like, what was your thought process on, okay, we're in prelims, what do we show so that the judges know that we'll actually look good in finals?
Air.
Well, air.
You put air in the third song.
Third,
You can do it in the second song, maybe.
I think you did. You
I
did
did?
like a little trick.
Yeah.
I can't remember now. Maybe not.
And then also another focus for me was energy. I feel like they want your energy.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we got in on the second song in prelims. We went all the way over to the side where Paul's camera is.
Oh yeah.
Nick, I think his name's Nick Peterson, older guy with the beard.
Yeah.
And I didn't know him at that point, and Bianca doesn't know him either. But he's like, show me some air, show me moves, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and then you like lifted me.
Oh, I was like, yeah. So like our prelims dance, we should need to find a video of it.
Yeah.
But the prelims dance was hilarious because I was like, yeah, do some air. And I was just like, like at the start, we just had a funny little gimmick.
Yeah, that's true. That was a really good dance, actually.
But it was I don't know, it was good energy because it kind of loosened us up a little and just was like, let's just fucking play with them.
Yeah.
And then threw air for him, and that one felt really good. And then the third song was just fast swing outs Charleston and doing air.
Yeah, we went in knowing like what air we wanted to throw. Like we were like, okay, these are 4 or 5, whatever.
Here's the 4 air.
Yeah.
And I can call each of those.
Yeah.
You know, Gene, Lindy flip, A-frame with a kick through.
Yeah.
And a kick up thing.
Yeah.
My launcher with my leg.
Because we were thinking like, okay, we want to stand out. But let's also not do air that's like complicated. Let's do stuff that is like clean,
solid.
Yeah. Like do it, but don't do anything crazy.
Yeah, because I think you don't want shaky air.
Yeah.
You don't want people.
Yeah.
You don't want that. Like just so then it's like don't go too hard. Then just like do the one that just looks solid, clean, and our jeans are solid because we literally airmail special jeans. And then the Lindy flip, we felt okay about it. You know, A-frame, it's an A-frame. It's
but it's like height, you know, and then you give it energy and like you make it look good. And I think just performing and having fun is also really important. And that's how we went into prelims.
Did you think we made finals after our prelims? She probably did.
No, but like she's
like,
yeah.
I was like, we made it after the second song. I was just like, shit, we did like that's what the judges want. If they see good energy, you know, that's what I felt it kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
afterwards, I was like, we made finals.
I mean, there was air going on everywhere. Like I don't know. Also, another thing I wanted to add: costumes. So important. One, to get you in the mood and like to make you feel like, you know, you're performing or whatever you want to feel like doing.
Yeah.
And I think also looking like we're a matching team. And it also shows that, hey, like we prepared. Look, we spent weeks whatever prepping for this, and we show that with our outfits because we're actually matching, and we talked about that, you know what I mean? Like that's I think where that's important. Yeah
No, I fully get where you're coming from there. And in regards to like the finals thing, I definitely had some feels when we were doing that the prep, right? Oh man. So what we had talked about before was how like Bianca, you're like, hey, I don't think we made finals. Like that was your worry, right? So I don't know if you two could sense it while we were doing the run through, but I was a little stressed like during that. I was not feeling in my zone. And after you all left, Amy and I sat down and we were talking. And I was like, dude, I'm feeling like off and stuff. And Amy has this beautiful way of just bringing me back to center because our dance values are let loose, have fun. And I was not letting loose.
Stressing.
I was stressing because I feel like the weight of last year was on, I felt like it was on my shoulders, which it didn't have to be, you know?
right
And so my thought process was, well, what if we don't make finals and all that? But then after talking to Amy, she like has this really cool thing where she goes like this. She's like, finish. And when she does that, it's like challenging you to be like, change your frame of mind and get
yeah
back to like where we are. And so Amy kind of like helped
Love it.
me get back to center, which is why like when we did the outs there, it kind of looked like we didn't have anything planned because that was the thing. We didn't have anything planned. The way that we approached it this year, and even with the classic, was we just had chunks and ideas that we wanted to string together. And when we went out and did the Strictly, it was better than anything that I could have asked for.
that's
honestly.
crazy. Yeah
So like, I feel like having that person to be able to bring you back to center is imperative. I mean, what are both your thoughts on that?
no
Agree.
definitely. Oh my god, yeah yeah, go ahead.
I had to remind her to smile
Yeah,
in prelim because she was just too focused, too stressed, whatever. I
it
don't
was the
know.
all skate finals, all like the beginning one, the first song.
Oh,
It was
oh,
that
the
one.
start of it.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I was just like smile, and she's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah. Because it was surreal. I was like, we're here, what? And I didn't even notice it. I mean, I wear my feelings on my sleeve
Yeah.
or whatever. So yeah.
I had to remind her to present, but
Yeah.
I think, yeah, if this is like in other partnerships, this happens with me too, but it's like going into a finals or a prelims, I have a checklist and I'm like, have fun,
Yeah.
smile, gushy connection. And with with me and Ioana, I do the stay tiny because we do Balboa, and I'm like, tiny, you know.
Yeah.
But do we have a checklist? I don't know.
No, I don't. I think
we're both just like, okay.
No,
ready?
he has this thing. He's like, just do it.
Just
yeah.
do it.
And then like that's his thing.
Yeah. But that's the Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
You know the video?
Yeah.
And so like I picked it up like 2 months ago because like everybody else. So this is a good transition, but everybody in our Strictly practice, which
oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Which was Jake and Andrea, us, and
8 Eyes.
Courtney. Yeah, JP and Courtney. 8 Eyes.
Yeah.
8 Eyes.
Yeah, like it was like you can feel like some of the stress and that was my like thing to like de-stress and just do it. But also there's another thing with aerials, you have to be mentally checked in that you're like, this aerial is going over.
Yeah.
I'm going to fully commit to this aerial.
Right.
And so that was my like, we're doing the aerial.
Super.
So like every time I did that, I went over.
Yeah.
Or we went over. Like it's a good mental.
Yeah. I think what you said, like that's kind of like the beginning when you were like, have fun, like that's my thing where I need to just remind myself. And when I see you, I feel that. I'm like, we're just doing it together. Like this is and like when you say that stuff, that actually helps me. I don't think I've ever told you, but
nice.
It's good. It's helpful.
Go ahead. Oh, the mental game is just as important as the dance game. Like you literally, if you have, it's 50-50. You got to have both.
Yeah.
If you're not mentally checked in, your air is going to flub. If your air is not practiced, well, I don't know. You need both.
Wait, do you want to talk about the Strictly practice thing? Do that because I have something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just remembered.
What I was saying was the biggest help for us, which was monumental, and we also saw our other partners do this as well. But you have days, you have good days, you have bad days. And when you have the bad day and like your mental game isn't there and you're like, oh, your air's not going over and fludging and flubbing, it can be rough and it can hurt and you feel like you're just at the bottom. And that's like I think what was really nice was we even scheduled like an extra practice because like, we were flubbing the week before.
Yeah.
And it was just not feeling good. And it was like, we got to do another practice, guys.
Yeah.
Go do another practice.
Let's do it. Yeah.
And then we came back and we were mentally checked in that practice before last. And then it was like everything went over.
Yeah.
With all of our couples.
Right.
So, I mean, I think that was vital. Like as much as like Airmail Special for teaching us air and getting us started, having strictly practices.
Yeah.
Where you're running outs, you're running spotlights, you're doing prelims just so that you're in the mindset and actually rehearsing it rather than not rehearsing. It's always good to rehearse.
Yeah. And we're so lucky that we were able to do that with our friends, that our friends are as dedicated as we are and really like want to do this. And it felt like even when we were out there, first of all, we made finals, all of us, which is insane. And then to all support each other, and it felt so good. You know what I mean? It's like that feeling of, I don't know. It's like it's just so special.
The hug,
yeah,
community hug.
And I think that also is really valuable and helped. Yeah,
super
with everything.
It's great because you offer encouragement, you help people when they're they're feeling mentally shot.
Right. And then you see their stuff go over, like literally, I think that's where I lost it. I'm like, it happened.
Yeah.
Yes. Like we saw you practice it and it went over. Yeah. So.
Dude, have you guys seen Andrea's Instagram or like TikTok where she talks about how JP was kneeling ready to like jump in?
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, damn, this is beautiful.
Yeah. No, for sure. That's that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Soft spot.
Yeah.
I was gonna say one of the things that I thought was really special was before our Strictly, when we like all went on, there was a song and it was Airmail Special. And that was where we were all jamming in preparation for going out.
Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was reminiscent of last year, honestly.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
I was wondering if it was gonna happen, and then I was like, I think it's gonna happen. Yeah.
I mean, we're all bunched there, and Amy was when she's been excited to do that the entire weekend.
Really?
She's like, let's do it. And then everyone started just doing it. And, oh man, that one was fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. And yeah, that's the same feeling of like we're all in this together. This is a community. We're just like here to support each other.
It takes off the pressure.
Yeah.
A lot.
No,
I think it did that for everybody.
Yeah, and I forget who it was because we actually did the same thing in the AM mix and match. And
I saw that.
Yeah, someone came up to me later and they're like, dude, thank you so much for helping with that because it made me less nervous to dance. And it just kind of gets the nervousness out. Like it kind of like the tension out, you know?
Yeah. No,
yeah,
for
but
sure.
But I was curious if that was kind of like getting the tension out, if that was kind of similar to what you felt when you did the Strictly practice, because correct me if I'm wrong, but the Strictly practices that was just you and several people just meeting up and just practicing your routine for Camp Hollywood, right?
Yeah. I mean, we had our own practice too, where we practiced our outs that we had put together. I actually want to say something about that later. Sure. But yeah, I mean, because the thing is, we were prepping for a really fast speed because
240.
Yeah, 240. Like historically, that's kind of what it's been, and it ended up being not that tempo.
200 BPM. And you could see that everybody practiced at 240 because all the other couples were like, speeding through.
I'm not gonna lie. When I heard the beat, I looked at Amy. I was like, "Oh, we're fine."
Like literally, I looked at him. I was like, "Oh fuck!" I'm like, "Shit." Because like, yeah, I don't know.
All our air was rehearsed for 240.
Right.
So slowing it down to 200 was like, fuck.
Yeah, because like that's important with air. Like you can't slow down that moment. It's gravity. You know what I mean? So like we had it really planned out of like, this is where it's gonna hit. This is what it's gonna do. That is a whole science in itself. And so you know, there's only so much you can do to slow it down. And so I think Benny did a great job. It was really good, and he held us on time. But yeah, it's definitely challenging and not what we were expecting. But maybe that was our challenge this year, you know?
It was, yeah. You're always gonna have,
yeah.
You can't 100% plan it out. It's you know, you have to roll with the punches or whatever.
Right. Yeah. And sorry, that's like another thing I wanted to like mention, where it's like, I know there's, I don't know, I'm opening up something big and that's a bit controversial maybe, but I know a lot of people have opinions about like choreographing their 8/8s and or like doing something that is more, I guess, natural, and kind of how you and Amy did it, where it's like we have these ideas and we put them together and see and feel the music. And I think that's totally valid, and like, you know, value, like it depends on the values that you have and the things that you want to do. And I think with us, because we were like, oh, we want to actually throw air and stuff that is like big, it can be dangerous when you kind of just go with it. You know, you kind of have to plan it so that you don't injure yourself, especially at a speed like we were expecting 240. Like I mean, we're not that trained to like call things that quickly, and I don't know if there are people that are that trained other than like Niels and Bianca maybe. But and even they like probably discuss like, you know, what they're gonna throw and do. But yeah, that's why I think we made the decision to like choreograph and put that together. And at the end of the day, like we still put our ideas that we had and that we liked together. We just, you know, had it more yeah, like choreographed, I guess. I don't
know. It scared me when you brought up like controversial topic. I'm like,
well, because I know like people, you know, have different values, and I don't think you need to discount anything. I think everything, because it takes so much time, like us figuring out those 8/8s, like literal months, you know?
I feel like you're trying to defend ourselves, but
I'm not defending myself.
No. What are we defending from?
Not defending. I'm just saying, like, I think that's a topic that always comes up, and like I wanted to address it. Because I think
I just know that
go ahead, Benny.
Oh, just to add my you know, thoughts in the soup. I've been doing, you know, competitions for like since I started dancing, maybe 2013 or so. And I've always done mix and match, which, you know, you can't like throw air and mix and match, of course. But then anytime I did a Strictly, I'm like, I would make finals and Strictly's, but would never like have something magical, because I would just do them like a mix and match. So like I love what we did here, because it's like, nah, let's bring like the craziest and biggest shit that we can think of and do like that looks good. And let's like show some
and
let's
fun.
Bring some cool shit. Which is, I think it's different. Like if it's a slower tempo, you do have time to play, and you do have time to, you know, you don't have to choreograph stuff for like a classic, but like once it's that fast, bring that shit. Because like blow people's minds with like some awesome choreography.
I agree. That's why I see Strictly's too. Blow their minds with like a little yummy bite that you put together. It's like, oh, look at this cool movement that we did, and damn, it looks so good, and it's like pretty.
And I will say this right now for any listeners that are listening. Like, I think that what you guys did was so beautiful, because I know you both and I know how you dance. I know that you call it choreography, but you were doing you. You were doing, and you were doing your air that you both feel that you both feel most comfortable with. And let's just put it to rest and say it shows. You got trophies. You got first place. And that's that's what it sometimes, you know? Yeah, oh, the shoe, the fucking shoe.
I thought I didn't want to touch it.
You guys got a shoe signed by Norma Miller. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it
listeners, I
says.
probably,
On here.
Did you see what it
ears in
says?
there.
It says.
It says
Keep
keep-
smiling.
No,
Keep
keep
swinging. Keep smiling.
keep swinging, Norma Miller. Damn, Bianca, are you gonna wear those?
They're actually my size, which is insane. I really want to, but one shoe is for Benny and one's for me. So
I was telling her she can wear them for next comp when we make Open Lindy finals.
when
I was just gonna say, like, the way y'all were talking about your training and the future and stuff, that sounded like two people open finalists. Just saying. And I already know you guys.
No pressure, no pressure.
I know.
No, but not like, we're gonna cheer the fuck for you guys regardless. Like that top, well, if you're facing the crowd, front left crowd, that's where we're all gonna be. We're all
We'll
too
be
lazy
there.
to go to the other side.
Second or third song, we're gonna come over and we're gonna be like, "Yo, what's up, people?"
Dude, that was the entire tactic with Amy and I, because we kept hovering in that corner. Like, this is where our friends are. We don't like.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah, because then that energy reflects on you. It's like it bounces back. You know.
Yeah.
Helping you out.
Well, we're nearing towards the end. So I guess before we get to the end, is there any final thoughts that either of you had on your experience with first place at Am Strictly at Camp Hollywood?
That shit was wild.
Insane.
Yeah.
What?
It's all I've been dreaming about, honestly. So to get that was insane. Yeah.
And a lot of Airmail Special being in that finalist list too.
Yeah, 5, 3.
3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Fifth, third, and first. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like the hits. We did that all.
dude. Yeah, it was pretty.
We were all of us, we were gunning for first, second, third, but but we actually thought it was gonna be a different lineup altogether.
Yeah. I had money, like I lost a lot of money in this.
I totally thought that you guys were gonna be first. I had that feeling.
Like from that.
Thank you.
From when we ran the spotlight. Like what did it? What was the
I don't know. It was just in my spirit.
How?
Okay.
You just felt it?
The way that I saw it was I saw you both do your out. First of all, the way you dolted to the center.
Oh,
right?
You have to command the fucking spotlight.
Yeah,
and then
we planned
go.
that,
yeah, and when you did that, and then when you did your choreo, what you guys were doing, it was so clean, it was so crisp. There was air, there was juiciness, there was fun. Your facial expressions were selling it, and I literally I kept this to just me and Amy, but I was like, yeah, they won. I told that. And that's why I took the video when we were sitting down and I was videoing you guys. I was like, I knew, and I wanted to capture that moment. I feel like I got a little bit in y'all's way when you're trying to get up on the podium.
No, I'm so happy that you got that moment.
That
video means a lot to me, so thank you.
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't step on anybody when we were.
I know. That was you did a good job. Yeah.
Because you couldn't see, because you're using Bianca as a fucking shield.
Yeah. Well, she wasn't. I think it was because she wasn't moving. She just stopped and she did the little fan wave of like, oh my god! And I was like, come on, Bianca, we gotta go.
And the way you picked up too, it was like an arm and a leg, and it was.
I don't know why I only had one leg. I don't know why.
It was like so weird.
Oh, yeah. Dude, it was amazing because I could see you both going through the emotions. Before I actually videoed, Benny was here smiling. He was like, oh, I think it might be us. I think it might be us. And then when it happened, you had a split second of just tearing up, and then you smiled, and then you teared up again. But my hope is that other people who are listening to the podcast right now can feel the same way next year when they get that first trophy. Not that like getting first place is like a indication of how good of a dancer you are, but it is an indication of how hard you work. Because you two put in the fucking work. Oh, Benny, what are you doing? Oh, I gotta go practice with Bianca. Hey, Bianca, dinner time? Oh, I gotta practice. I can't. Party? I gotta practice.
Yeah, no, literally, like we were.
I skipped a party at my house to go practice.
Yeah. Thank you.
But that being said, again, huge major congrats to you two. Now, I do want to ask this final question. Since you both have been on the podcast before, I won't ask the other ones. But my last question to you, just one question for each of you to answer, is what kind of message do you want to give to any amateur strictly people who want to be where you're at today?
It takes a village. Sorry. Ooh. Yeah, I that's what I want to say, at least. It takes a village. I think yeah, it's your community supporting you, and we both know that without them we wouldn't have been where we are. So I think that's really important to recognize that it's like, this is not just our win, this is like everybody's, you know.
This
like,
is Airmail Special, teaching us air.
Right.
Paul, Susan, Jax.
Yeah.
Jess. Tina.
Yeah. Even Jake and Andrea.
Andrea.
Like helping us with just mentally, also like giving feedback. Like it's just everything together, you know. It's kind of what we listed earlier. I think I don't need to repeat it, but yeah, I would say that. Don't think, I mean, obviously there's people that probably can do things on their own amazingly, but I would say that really true success comes from the community around you, and you need to recognize that, you know.
Yeah, you need your spots.
Oh yeah.
And then when you're working on air, they're spotting you. When they're working on air, you're spotting them.
Right.
You know, it's
super important.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what you wanted to say. Sorry.
You stole it. I was literally gonna say find your community.
Oh, there you go.
Like find your pod, but
find your pod.
I can come up with another one. What's the question?
What message you want to give to any like Lindy and people that want to aspire to that?
I mean, find your pod. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. I want to say, I think I said this the last time, but just have fun, or wait, you know what? No, I don't know how to say. Do it!
I saw it in your eyes.
Do it!
Oh my God.
Yesterday you said today. Do it.
If you're listening to this, Benny's like doing the whatchamacallit?
Shia LaBeouf.
I
feel like he's canceled, no?
Is he?
I don't know.
It's still a great performance. I'll still go watch it.
I don't know any of them.
Whenever we get canceled, people will still watch our spotlight.
Gotcha. Do it. All right. Well, I think that summarizes the podcast. Thank you both so much for jumping on. And again, congratulations. Wow. They just clapped at the same time.
That was weird.
Partnership.
That was
just like, oh.
Well, Amy.
Yeah.
What'd she say? Change?
Change.
I love that.
But thing is, she had to do it like several times for me to change it.
Reset. Audrey, change.
Turn it on and off again.
But thank you both so much for jumping on. Don't go anywhere after I end the recording. Everyone else, thank you so much for lending us your ears. Super appreciate you all. And we're gonna do a new thing this year. So with these new episodes, I want to hear what you all want to hear. Okay, so please let me know inside my Instagram DMs who you want me to interview, what topics you want me to cover, because so many people came to me at Camp Hollywood saying, "Oh, I listened to your podcast." And I'm like, I literally thought that like very few people did, but it was quite humbling. So I want to change the format to be what it is you guys want, so it is as useful to you all as possible. Okay, so Thank you all so much for listening. Benny Bianca, don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. The music you are currently hearing is called Dances of the Night by Papa D. You can find all its links down below. Till next time.
Don't lose hope, trying to stand tall, trying to give this dance of yours the best that you got, cause every time that they hear this sound, that music gets their feet above the ground. Time just seemed to stop in every move. Seems all your life what is based on tonight, and all you gotta do is do it right. You gotta move, you gotta move, you gotta move, move, move. got to be a